Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are back again with another Dragonheir video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the update that I made to the tier list. We finally have the epic tier list, so go check out in the description below. But I do want to take the time to give you guys some of the disclaimers. So first disclaimer, epic ratings and legendary ratings are different. You cannot compare them apples to apples in this game, unfortunately. There are some really good epics. Some of them are much better than some of the legendaries out there, but most of them you cannot compare them because the stat difference, the skill difference is a lot. So it's unfair for me to give them a rating consisting of legendaries and epics being in the same pool. So I'm gonna refrain from doing that. This is more like if you need an epic, you can check the tier list as a general guide. The second disclaimer is going to be that the ratings are S, A, B, C. So I'm going to explain what these are. These are basically the value of the kit that they bring and how easily is it to slide them into a team. When you're making a team, do you care about their affinity bonus? So somebody who's rated S can be slid into any team and he's going to do the job that that you're picking him for. Whereas somebody with a B skill is going to be like a mediocre. There are multiple choices out there. It's not the best or the worse. It's just somebody you can use for whatever purposes. So if that B tier has something like an attack down, you can probably use him. C tier, you should probably look for a better choice unless you're building a specific team. That's different. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. Next disclaimer, tier list, don't rely on them fully. Take them with a grain of salt. These are mostly based on my experience. Your experience may be different, and if it is, do let me in the comments below know that look, I'm using this champion in this team, and in this team he's doing better than what your rating suggests. So I'll go ahead and take another look at the champion and hopefully change it. But if not, don't be disheartened by it. These are just my opinion, and it's mostly reflective of the fact that how easily I think the champion can be used, right? Or in my test they did amazing damage, for example, then they get A tier. But that out of the way, let's jump right into it. So first up, let's take a look at the fire. Fire has some amazing epics, but they're mostly geared towards PvE. Actually, even the legendaries, most of them are geared towards PvE. It's very, very hard for me to build a PvP team that includes only fire legendaries, and I just mainly refrain from doing that. Horus is amazing. A lot of people from beta know him. Exceptional tank, great for Grave of Venom. Even in PvP, he's amazing. But the one that we will be talking about is Alfie. He's the damage maker of fire teams. If you don't have big names, you can use him pretty much in any wild team, and he's gonna help you boost that damage. His skills are pretty unique in his own way, and what he does is that he creates this nexus and it increases the wild chance, and his ultimate is what's going to do that. For 15 seconds he's going to create that. But look at the recharge time, right? The recharge time is as much as the duration of the nexus. There's a 1 second gap, but that's fine. Some of the attack intervals are longer than 1 second. So he's like the Laurential of the wild team. Pretty good overall, in my opinion. He's gonna be your damage maker. Some of his skill sets does say he gets attack up, whatever. He's not gonna be your main source of damage, but he's gonna be your damage dealer, damage maker. The next one, there's another notable mention here. Like I said, some of the epics are amazing. Tonalan. If you are a whale, if you are a free to play, if you are whatever, if you have Flora, you want to build a comp, Flora is Tonalan is the best single target epic damage dealer for the wild team. It's amazing how much he does, and even at the top level, somebody who has fully inspired Flora is going to be using Tonalan to boost the damage because it's a 5 hitting ultimate, so it does really well, and the damage from her is actually pretty good. And if you don't have legendaries, you can pair her with Alfie, so she's a solid A tier damage dealer. In Frost, we have the notable mention Rava, who's an A tier for me. So Frost basically needs a Frost debuff to do damage, right? They typically require somebody to, they have the skill set in which either it enhances something, they explode it, or they get more alt gauge when they're hitting somebody with frost. So that is the reason that you want to champion a frost DPS that can also place the frost, so you don't have to particularly bring another support or quasi damage dealer with a lot of accuracy or something. But his is pretty interesting kit. Like at the end game level, he will be very much used because you can build up some accuracy and this damage is quite good. So he places this. The animation is similar to Losenia, and he's going to do this whirlwind effect where he's going to be placing this frost debuff for a long time, and then they explode, dealing 400% attack damage. So it's a double hitter basically. So it hits pretty hard, and moreover he's going to be boosting his attack up. So since he can apply and do things with frost by himself, you can bring another DPS as well. You don't really need like one particular frost unit. Later on, like depending upon the content, like some of them require like 200 plus accuracy, so then it becomes a little challenging to build frost DPS units, and then you will need somebody who's doing frost debuff for you. S tier champion right here. I think he's S tier more for the fact that his skit is unique, because you can replace him. It's not that he's replaceable, it's just that likability of his unique skill set. He's one of the damage dealers, quasi damage dealers, that is also a healer, but he heals based off an attack, so you never miss out on doing damage. So it's pretty good. Also the ultimate has a buff prohibition, right? And yeah, this buff prohibition on an ultimate is fine because you can time it. So it works pretty well, and it's a full AoE, not like some of the other ones that we've seen. Moving on to summons. So in summons, now let's look at Irma. Irma has pretty interesting kit as well, and she's going to be a defense unit, but whenever the hero takes damage, there's a 30% chance to increase the ultimate by 5%. I wish the cooldown of this effect would be less. Right, her ultimate is going to be providing you with control immunity and damage reduction to all allies, so it's pretty unique. And the only area that you do need control immunity is going to be PvP mainly. I don't remember if there was a content in the game where it does control effect, except for Ancient Battlefield, but outside of that, I don't really think that. And this is based off of her defense, so it's going to hit really hard. Like that's like attack multipliers. It's also going to be placing damage reduction, which is pretty good, and deals damage to an enemy and gains hit recovery. So it's a tank for arena, not necessarily that you need her in PvE. So that's why I rated her like differently for PvE. I think I rated her C for PvE and A for PvP. So I like her design, really looks cool, and this ultimate is very unique in my opinion. And she's going to be placing, like, why is this center? I wish like it would be like all back, because since she's a defense unit, she's going to be in front. So she should have been here, and this is the entire area she would cover. That would make more sense in my opinion. But yeah, there are some cool epics, not the greatest epics in summons to be honest. I wasn't fully impressed with a lot of different ones. There's Thea, who places debuff immunity. She was there in, what do you call, this is actually good for Rot, right? She was there in beta as well, and it's good for Rot because you can place the healing prohibition. Buff immunity, debuff immunity is really important for ranged allies there, because I think the boss does poisons and ult recharge reduction. Moving over to Radiance, I think Radiance has one of the best epics in the game. This guy is insane. This is also there is one I feel like is better, and I'm going to be very honest about it, but he's right up there. He's pretty good defense unit as it is for all content in the game. The passive alone works so well. Like, it feels like all defense units should have something like this passive, where like they become tankier and tankier as it goes. This one is fine. The knock-up effect on the single target is okay, but this skill is godlike. It is like mini Asilia, right? He's going to be healing with so much defense. His defense is slightly lower than his attack, but I think that's more mainly because of his passive. They somehow tried to like figure it out, like what to do with it. But overall, great S tier epic right here. You can plug and play in any affinity comp and he's gonna do the job, right? So that was one of my favorite, I think, the new ones that they have added. In lightning, I really like Shalter. For those of you who don't know, Shalter does derived damage and he's really nice to have. In your Dauntless comp, he's gonna be, yeah, you need enlightenment on him, and he's gonna be doing like amazing damage on Vortex or things like that. Pretty solid. There's another guy called Nathaniel, whose kit is pretty unique. He's gonna be healing you. So when his passive is like whenever buff expires or is dispelled, he's gonna heal you by 5% of max HP. The cooldown effect is really nice. That is gonna be just 1 second, and he's going to be. So this is like one of the few battle skills that actually cleanses. So that's why I really like him. I think the 1 stack of recovery over time is fine. 5 seconds. So he's going to be healing you a lot in like a passive, with his battle skill, especially if you're fighting something like, not in Rod because that does 2 debuffs, but if you're fighting like the Fae boss, he's pretty good. He's also going to be pretty good in Arena. Like if you're fighting an Urganda and his battle skill is going to be removing it or healing your DPS units. So pretty well overall. And then this ultimate is also very unique. I think this S tier is also based on his unique ability rather than his overall utility. I feel like this entire kit is very unique. He's gonna be dealing damage and he's gonna be placing a shield up, and defense up 1 is weird, it should be 2. And moreover, the shield is going to be increased by 10%. So this works really well in Arena, where you have like 5 different champions to attack. In dungeons, it's not going to work that well. In Vortex, it's not going to work as well. But nonetheless, in Vortex, he's great to have because, you know, the defense up is going to help your survivability. He's healing, recovery over time, cleanse. It's just a lot of these things. And I think in Vortex 4, the boss is going to be placing you with defense down. So this battle skill cleanse is going to come in handy. The one thing that I wish that would really make him a true S tier in my opinion, if this did, instead of defense up, it would do attack down too. Then yeah, he would be one of the best epics in the game then. But not a lot of great ones besides these 2 that I see. Iola is pretty amazing. Notable mention, she does attack down, so if you're missing an attack down champion, she's pretty good. In Poison, we have the best epic in the game, in my opinion. This guy, he has cleanse, he has healing, he has attack down. It's just god tier, honestly. This is a legendary, a true legendary in epic skin. I don't think people would even complain if he was a legendary and he had the same kit. It's just amazing that how much he does, how much utility is in his kit, and you can plug and play him in any comp. That's the beauty of Furbath. One of the best ones ever. Koren is great mention as well. Like he does a lot of poisons. There's Sifris. She's, I think, the only epic reviver, but she's not a true reviver. Mithrasi is the only true reviver because she revives the entire team. She's gonna revive only like 2 random allies. And they changed this resurrection effect from back in the day. It's the same, so I don't know why they mention it here. 30% of the HP, and this is the resurrect mechanic. This is not unique to her skill. So I don't know why they put it that way. I think resurrect in this game still needs a bit of work. Like some of the other, like if you play other gachas, right? Like not all resurrectors are true, like are equal. Some resurrect with full turn meter or ultimate energy. Some resurrect with full HP. There's like a lot of different mechanics to it. Or when they resurrect, they place like some buffs on them. And this one does that. This one does defensive power, but like they put like some really cool buffs. So I would love to see like more resurrectors in the game. But I don't think like this game really needs a lot of resurrectors actually. Yeah, this game I don't really see myself using a resurrector that often outside of like an arena tanky team. But yeah, that was pretty much all for today. I'll see you guys next time. Let me know in the comments below what we would like to see